Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for my Bits and Bobs Progress video 45. I'm starting this week where I ended last week with a little progress. I've now finished the quilting on the back of the book block, and is that not just perfect? I love that. That turned out really nice. And so for this week, I'm not going to tackle the boot block. I think what I'm going to do is add the corner hanky embroidery piece here and do that. And I don't know what else. We'll see. I've got a couple of other things on the go at the very moment, so I don't have as much stitching time for this week. I have to finish some binding on a quilt that's going to be gifted soon for somebody that's moving away, and I want them to take one of my quilts with them. And also I have 2 thrifted pieces of clothing that I'm doing a little bit of adjusting on to make them more me and mine, and I'd really like to wear them the next time I go to town, so I'm trying to get them done as well. And I'm actually making a video of that, so I'll be able to share that with you as soon as it's done. Yeah, I'm pleased with that too, but that's why not as much stitching has been going on this quilt. But I do think I'm going to add the little hanky piece next and just finish that off. And then it'll be the boot block and the hexagon with the daisy in the center embroidered on it, if you recall. Maybe you don't. Some of the items on this quilt came about because of things I made on my mini quilts that I did last year that I paused temporarily, but I will hope to get back to them. But on my June one last year, I did this hexagon flower in a circle and then did a daisy in the center of that, and that's the plan for this one right here. I've got once it's stitched down, I'll do the embroidery on it. Yes, that's gonna be lovely. Okay, that's it to start. I will be back with whatever progress I have. Okay, I've stitched this hanky embroidery down, and originally I thought I was going to just do white quilting around the edge, but in the end I decided to use this light colored floss as close as I could get to it, and did the stitching and the quilting in that. And while I was doing that stitching, I thought perhaps decorating the frame with something with matching the pink embroidery floss, which I've found as close a color as I have in that, around the edge somewhere. Like originally I was thinking French knots spaced out, but I don't actually really know. So until I do, I'm just leaving that. But that's still potentially going to happen to this piece. And in the meantime, I did actually have a little extra time. So I've begun applying the boot block to the background, and I will finish that one next time. I'm gonna show this up close again. This was a corner of a handkerchief that I had since I was a little girl. I used to use it as a sheet for my Barbie. But when I was younger, I never appreciated this. But look, that's hand embroidered, and it's all single strand embroidery floss. And so very well done and pretty as heck. So I had to preserve it on this quilt so that somebody's beautiful handwork can be forever featured and loved on this quilt. Okay, so that's it for this week. I will continue on the boot block and include that next week. And I'm quite excited. I was looking at this side of this bottom part of the quilt, and I have very little left to get done as far as the big items go. We've got the silk ribbon carnations, the little 4-patch heart, the cards, the fan, the paisley block, and the lace card. And that's it. This is done. All the rest are small pieces and even smaller pieces. So that's really quite exciting. I hope you're as excited as I am. I can't believe this is this far along. I'm loving that, frankly, having you interested in my progress every week has been nudging me along probably faster than if I didn't make a video. So that's been very helpful. Thank you. Since if you're new here, I started working on creating the pieces for this quilt in January 2024. So I've been working on this little beauty for a long time, and it's very exciting to see all the big pieces get added to the whole quilt, and then I get to do all the smaller embellishing from there, which is very exciting. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for your interest. If you haven't subscribed and want to make sure you see more, subscribe. And it's that button at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And I will see you next week with some more progress. Happy stitching, everyone.